back to Stories for Shabbos. We have a great story this week, and we have a very special guest, our cousin, Tehillim Fox. Thanks for joining us. There is a very special rabbi in Rebbitzin who live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, named Rav Michal and Rebbitzin Fegi Twersky. Maybe you've heard of them before. This is a story about Rav Michal Twersky's parents. They moved to Milwaukee in 1920, over 100 years ago. And when they moved to Milwaukee in 1920, I don't think so, no. When they moved to Milwaukee, there were very few other Jews living in Milwaukee. There were no yeshivas, there were no Jewish schools. I don't think there were any other shuls. The kids had to go to public school, and yet, amazingly, they raised a big, beautiful family with lots of kids who all became great Jewish leaders and teachers and rabbis and rebbitzins, and they had children and grandchildren. And somebody once interviewed Rebbitzin Twersky, Rav Twersky's mother, Rebbitzin Devorah Leah Twersky, and asked her, how did you succeed in raising such a big, beautiful, frum family in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the 1920s? It's amazing. And she answered the interviewer and said, well, of course, really, we don't know the answer because Hashem is in charge of everything. But I always thought maybe I had one special zechus, one special merit that helped me. She remembered that in 1890, over 130 years ago, when she was only 8 years old, she went to visit her grandfather on Hanukkah. Her grandfather was the Bab of Rebbe, a very special Hasidic Rebbe of the Hasidim called the Bab of Hasidim. And she said she remembered that after they lit Hanukkah candles, her grandfather, the Bab of Rebbe, was sitting by the candles reading, davening Tehillim. And she said to him, Zaidi, who are you saying Tehillim for? And he looked at her with a smile and he said, sweet girl, I'm saying Tehillim for you. So she walked out of the room. She was only 8 years old, so she went to play with her siblings and her cousins and her friends. And then she came back about a half hour later and she saw her Zaidi. Her grandfather was still sitting, saying Tehillim. And she said, Zaidi, who are you saying Tehillim for now? And he said, now I'm saying Tehillim for your kinder, meaning for your children. She was only 8 years old. She didn't have children yet. But what he meant is for the children that in Mirz Hashem, Hashem will give to you in years from now. So she left and she was playing, and then she came back a half hour later, and she saw her Zaidi was still saying Tehillim. And she said, Zaidi, who are you saying Tehillim for now? And he said, now I'm saying Tehillim for your grandchildren. Very good, for your Einiklach. And she realized that her grandfather had been davening for not only her, and her future children, and her future grandchildren. And she said, when we moved to Milwaukee, and we had children who became such great tzaddikim, such great boys and girls, and they had children who became such wonderful people, committed to learning and teaching Torah, she always felt that that was in the zechus, that was in the special merit of the Tehillim that her special grandfather, the Baba of Rebbe, had said in 1890 next to the Hanukkah candles. It's such a beautiful story, and I've always loved it because it teaches us, firstly, how powerful tefillah and Tehillim can be. That sometimes it can be so strong that it can affect people years or even generations later on. You never know. You might daven one day, or you might say Tehillim one day. And that could, you said Tehillim already today? And that can give special zechuyos. That can provide special merits, not only for you, and not only for your children, maybe for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. How amazing is that? Even if you don't have them yet, but one day you will. And it teaches us the special power of Tehillim. David HaMelech wrote Sefer Tehillim, and he gave us this special gift. We have the power to say Tehillim, and it can change the world. And I wanted to wish a special mazel tov to Rivka Ne'ima, whose class made us see him on the entire Sefer Tehillim this week. That is something so special, and I hope you, and all of you continue to say Tehillim for the rest of your life. And one last special thing, happy birthday to Shua, whose birthday is tomorrow, turning 9, and good Shabbos, everyone!